You might be thinking that traditional family tree websites are the only sources of information to get through to the archives and so on. However, there's a couple of alternative sources that I've found that have been very fruitful for my own research that I want to share with you right now. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first one actually has been Google Books. Now, this is good if you've got relatives with a unusual name perhaps, or even if you're looking for things about specific places. So what you should do is put the name of whatever you're searching for in quotation marks, because that's an exact match search, and search on Google Books. And more often than not, you will find something. Sometimes it will only direct back to an archive, which is not a bad thing anyway, but other times you might stumble on something. Like in this case, my grandmother's first cousin actually is mentioned in a book for his exploits during the war, bit of a military hero, and he's even got an entire chapter on him here, which for me was mind-blowing. I found this actually by talking to a relative who put me on to the fact that he was covered in some books. Then I found the books, and he's also covered in the book about the man behind the Great Escape. Again, amazing. So I got to find that. That was really cool. And I've then put a few other names in there, especially when they've got distinctive names, and I have found some other records that way. So that's been really helpful. The next alternative thing I found is actually Facebook groups. Not Facebook by searching names and living people, but actually Facebook groups. Now, what you can do is go and join a group, maybe a local history group or some kind of genealogical group for that area. And you'll see that people love these nostalgia photos, and they're often posting photos of the time when maybe your grandparents, great-grandparents were in that place, and they might know something about it. Because the beauty is you can add a comment on the photo and say, does anyone know about X, Y, and Z related to this photo? And more often than not, you get people offering answers. Now, I've got a contact I need to follow up from doing just that. Someone said, just call this man, and it's a small village, and I've actually found him in the phone book. So I'm going to call him and see what comes. But either way, just having that contact with the area has been incredible, because you could just join the group very easily, be polite, obviously don't get yourself kicked out, but then once you're in, they're a really rich source of information, things that you just wouldn't find elsewhere, and interactive, engaging with the people from that area, or perhaps people who are connected to the area and have that same passion that you do. So it's a win-win for all, free and easy, really simple. And the next one is actually Google Images. And the best thing about Google Images is that obviously the visual gives you a very quick idea of what you're looking for. And it's really helpful because sometimes you just want to see a picture of the place rather than written detail or record. You just want to have that idea of how it was for when maybe your grandparents were alive, or when they were young, or their parents, and so on. And Google Images is brilliant because then leads you on to other sites that you probably wouldn't find by doing a text search. Now again, you might want to do a close quotation direct match search on this, but you can also do it another way. Now, if I show you one that I found through this, this is the Welsh town that my grandfather was born in and his brother, and it's got circa 1900. Now, my grandfather was born in 1904. I've got an instant idea of how the children on the street looked when he was born. And for me, that's just mind-boggling. Obviously, you can get that from books, but places there aren't many books about, having the Google image search is really helpful and can really cut to the chase very quickly. Now, tell me, are there any others you've got? Any other ninja tips or ways to search that you know of? If so, leave them in the comments below. It'd be great to share them and get more of those resources. I hope you found this useful. I'll see you in another video soon.